Prepare to question everything. From the depths of the cosmos to the ruins of the ancients, we investigate every mystery across time, and we finally found the answer. Welcome to the Sentinel Files. Something down there made a sound so impossibly loud. It was heard across an entire ocean basin, a sound that traveled over 5,000 kilometers through the deep Pacific. A sound louder than any living creature should be capable of producing. Scientists called it the Bloop. And for 15 years, nobody could explain what made it. Here's what makes this terrifying. We've mapped Mars in stunning detail. We've photographed galaxies billions of light years away. But 95% of our own ocean remains unexplored, a crushing, lightless void where pressure can liquefy steel. In that abyss, sound is everything. And in summer 1997, something in that darkness made a sound that defied every law of marine biology. Let me tell you about the sound that made scientists question everything they knew about the deep ocean. The detection. Summer 1997. NOAA was operating underwater, listening stations across the Pacific. Hydrophones, originally deployed during the Cold War to track Soviet submarines. After the Cold War ended, they repurposed them to monitor ocean acoustics and whale migrations. That summer, the system detected something unusual, a powerful low-frequency sound, rising rapidly in pitch over about 1 minute before fading. The frequency pattern was unlike anything in their database. But the shocking part wasn't the sound itself. It was the range. Multiple hydrophones detected it simultaneously across over 5,000 kilometers. That's the distance from New York to London. For context, a blue whale, the loudest animal ever to exist, can be heard for several hundred kilometers under ideal conditions. This sound traveled 10 times farther. Scientists ran calculations. If this was biological, the creature would need to be enormous, significantly larger than a blue whale, potentially 3 to 5 times larger. The problem? Nothing that large should exist. Blue whales already push the physical limits of biology. Their hearts weigh 400 pounds. Any larger, and a creature's own weight would crush its internal organs, even in water. Yet the sound was there, recorded, undeniable. NOAA labeled it Bloop based on the characteristic rising pitch. They cataloged it alongside other unexplained ocean sounds: upsweep, whistle, Julia, slowdow. But the Bloop was different, louder, more powerful. And it came from one of the most remote regions of the Pacific. The location. Scientists triangulated the source to approximately 50s, 100 watt, deep in the South Pacific, roughly 1,500 miles west of South America's southern tip. This is one of Earth's most isolated regions. No major shipping lane, no significant human activity, just thousands of miles of empty ocean above trenches, exceeding 4,000 meters deep. At those depths, pressure reaches 400 atmospheres, pitch darkness, near freezing temperatures. But the internet noticed something else that turned scientific curiosity into viral legend. In 1928, H.P. Lovecraft published The Call of Cthulhu, a story about an ancient cosmic entity sleeping in a sunken city at the bottom of the Pacific. Lovecraft specified coordinates for this fictional city: Rillier 47S 126W. People did the math. The Bloop source was roughly 1,500 miles from Lovecraft's fictional coordinates, close enough to fuel speculation. Was it coincidence? Obviously. Lovecraft chose remote Pacific coordinates because they were appropriately desolate for cosmic horror. The South Pacific is vast, but logic doesn't stop imagination. Online forums exploded. Cryptozoologists pointed to kraken, surviving prehistoric marine reptiles, maybe even megalodon, the massive extinct shark that disappeared 3 million years ago. Some suggested underwater bases, submerged spacecraft, something ancient awakening. NOAA remained skeptical. Unexplained doesn't mean unexplainable. But without a definitive answer, speculation filled the void. For 15 years, the Bloop remained one of oceanography's most tantalizing mysteries. The explanation. In 2012, NOAA finally provided an answer. Not a monster. Not Cthulhu. Ice. After deploying additional monitoring equipment near Antarctica and analyzing years of acoustic data, scientists identified the source. The bloop matched the signature of an icequake, the sound produced when massive icebergs crack, fracture, or scrape against the seafloor. Antarctica constantly sheds enormous ice chunks into the Southern Ocean. Some are city-sized. When they calve off glaciers or fracture and break apart, they release tremendous energy. That energy propagates through water as sound. Because water is roughly 800 times denser than air, sound travels farther with less attenuation. Low-frequency sounds can travel thousands of kilometers through ocean basins with minimal energy loss. The bloop's frequency profile, that characteristic rising pitch, matches ice under stress. As fractures propagate through ice, pitch rises. When the fracture completes and ice separates, the sound abruptly ends. NOAA compared the bloop to other recorded icequakes and found nearly identical patterns. They traced similar sounds to specific calving events off Antarctica. The mystery was solved. The bloop wasn't evidence of megafauna. It was evidence of climate, of glaciers breaking apart in one of Earth's most remote regions, sending their death cries across an entire ocean. The bigger picture. So the mystery is solved. But that answer raises other questions about what we don't know. We've explored less than 5% of the ocean floor. The rest is unmapped, unobserved, unknown. We have better topographical maps of Mars than our own ocean trenches. Every year, we discover species we didn't know existed. Giant squids, once mythical, were finally photographed alive in 2004. We've found fish at depths we thought impossible, surviving pressures that should crush organic tissue. We've discovered ecosystems around hydrothermal vents, thriving in boiling, toxic water with no sunlight. The deep ocean constantly reveals our assumptions about life's limits are wrong. So while the bloop wasn't a sea monster, the question remains, what else is down there we haven't found? There are trenches deeper than Everest is tall, underwater mountain ranges larger than any on land, volcanic systems more active than anything on the surface, and vast abyssal plains stretching thousands of miles, largely unobserved. The ocean is an acoustic echo chamber. Whales sing across ocean basins. Dolphins use echolocation, exceeding our best sonar. Pistol shrimp create cavitation bubbles, generating temperatures rivaling the sun's surface. The bloop proved massive, powerful events happen in the deep ocean, and we only detect them by accident. If we hadn't repurposed Cold War hydrophones, we never would have heard it. How many other sounds, other events, are occurring in the abyss we're simply not listening for? The unease. Here's what unsettles me. Not the sound itself, but the timeline. 15 years. For 15 years, one of the loudest sounds ever recorded in the ocean remained a mystery. That should humble us. We've sequenced genomes, split atoms, landed rovers on Mars, but a loud noise in the ocean stumped us for over a decade. When the explanation came out, it made sense. It was because of the ice. Antarctica is disintegrating. Glaciers are fracturing. But what if the next unexplained sound doesn't have a neat answer? What if we detect something that doesn't match ice, whales, or geology? The ocean is opaque to us in ways space isn't. We can see distant stars, but can't see 100 meters into murky water. We detect gravitational waves from colliding black holes, but struggle to map seafloor beneath our shipping lanes. The bloop was a reminder that Earth still holds mysteries, that the planet we've lived on for 300,000 years can still surprise us, that there are places so remote, so hostile, so alien, we've barely begun to explore them. And sometimes, those places make sounds we can't immediately explain. Sounds that travel thousands of miles. Sounds that make us wonder if maybe the old legends were true. If maybe there are things in the deep we're better off not finding. The answer and the question. The bloop was ice, but the question it posed remains. What else are we missing? Every unexplained ocean sound eventually gets explained. Bloop was ice. Upsweep is volcanic. Julia was an iceberg. We've systematically demystified them, but new sounds appear regularly. The ocean is never silent. It hums with geology, biology, and physics we're still learning to interpret. As climate changes, as ice sheets fracture, as ocean temperatures shift, we'll hear more sounds, some familiar, some new. Those Cold War hydrophones are still operating, still listening, still recording the acoustic signatures of a changing planet. And occasionally, they pick up something that doesn't fit the database, something requiring investigation and explanation. That's science. Mystery becomes data. Data becomes understanding. The unknown becomes known. But the ocean is very good at keeping secrets. For every mystery we solve, we find 2 more. For every species we catalog, we estimate 10 remain undiscovered. So while the bloop isn't evidence of Cthulhu, it is evidence of our own ignorance, our profound lack of knowledge about the 70% of our planet covered by water. We are surface creatures, looking down into an abyss we barely comprehend. And sometimes, the abyss makes a sound so loud, so strange, so powerful. It forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about what we don't know. The bloop was ice breaking in the dark. But the next sound? Maybe ice too. Maybe whales, or earthquakes, or some geological process we haven't cataloged yet. Or maybe it'll be something we weren't expecting. Something that doesn't fit the models. Something that makes us reconsider what's possible in the crushing darkness miles below. What would that sound like? And would we recognize it when we heard? The file is closed, but the mystery remains. To uncover what lies in the dark, join the investigation. Remember, the Sentinel is always watching.